The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today is the 3rd of February 2020. Apologies for no user group meeting last week. Basically just it's good. We've got lots of work on, lots of projects, but yeah, a particular project just needed my attention, and I really couldn't break away from it. Didn't really go to plan over the weekend prior on the leading up to it, so yes, apologies for that. But we're here now. Okay, we'll start with our usual updates and so on. No templates have been released for the last few weeks, actually. They are due imminently. I know. Is he here? Let me have a quick look at the attendee list. I thought it's quite small. Alan is here, and he's desperately waiting for the docking pane. And Alan, you will have the docking pane on Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday afternoon UK time, Wednesday morning your time. So once you're online, in fact, let's open the mic up because I can see you paying attention and the hands up already. That's good. That's very good. Hi, Alan, you open?
Hey, Andy, I was just clapping.
Oh, okay, very good. Yes, you have the docking pane. It still needs a little work, and it's very much a beta, but part of the testing is actually against your app. It's going into a particular customer's application on Wednesday afternoon. So Wednesday morning, it's going to get the finishing off, if you will, which means by Wednesday afternoon UK time, it'll be good to send to yourself. So that will be the docking pane. Won't say it's the definitive gold release of that particular build, but it should stand up to some pretty good tests. So I'm quite confident in that. So
that little example I sent you as a piece of cake compared to the real application I'll be putting it in. So if it survives my application, that'll be a really good test.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I always keep using this example. Schedule it. It's not a plug, although I always use it. It's in dev. This is the one that's going in on Wednesday afternoon, actually, not this version. But yes, this is. I know of one particular thing, like probably see docking pane on the right, open and close. Yeah, open and close. I know of what that is. It's just one particular task that I need to tidy up, and it's all to do with a particular state and so on and so forth. But from a stability point of view, it's been really good. It's been much better. And this is a real live type application. So I'm really happy on the results of it and so on. So yeah, this application, we've got the docking pane, the usual setup, the docking pane host window, if you will, and then the child browser's got its own docking pane manager, and so on and so forth, hosting different types of controls we can see, and so on. So yeah, and then that's actually got, just let me unpin that, sorry, and it's actually got a child window down here, which is in its own pane, on its own thread, but related information, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it all seems to be going pretty good. So I'm quite chuffed with that. The only extra one thing I want to do, and this will before this goes out on Wednesday, will be the optimizing the actual loading, and it's just some. It's how it's really relating with the docking pane and the report control. So it's not really a docking pane only per se, but it's a docking pane and report control going hand in hand, because I don't want the report control having to load data before the docking pane, can pass control back to the calling window and things like that. So, but that's very much a nicety. It wouldn't stop you from releasing, but it's still nice to have that. If it's going to go out to a customer, it should really be in his best guise, even if it's only in a beta. So yeah, so that is docking pane, and as I just mentioned there, next and hand in hand, if you will, is the report control. So there's some work on the report control which is taking shape. Extra embed points and drive methods to know when to load and when not to load, and loading characteristics. The save and restore should be in by Wednesday actually, and they will be system tables. So they should be in by Wednesday. So you can just click at a global level, tell it that you want to use the built-in save and restore functions of docking pane and report control, and it will go off and create them. There'll be TPS tables, and you'll be able to specify the location on the server, but basically they will be internal tables to the controls themselves. So you just give it a path on the server where you want to create them, and it'll prompt you for a few questions like a user ID field, if you use that, of course. If you don't specify it, things like that. And hey presto, it will do the rest for you. So it'll make the saving and restoring a lot easier for you to implement. Other updates, very much on the back burner. From a plan point of view, that's not quite true actually. Our HTML viewer and editor, and John, I know do you use the editor? I know you use the viewer. John there?
I am here, sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to use the editor. I'm never that happy with any of the editors, I guess, but yeah.
Well, exciting.
Most of the viewers.
Exciting news on that. Obviously, there is our HTML editor by NBit, and that has now just become, where are we? So it's not NBit are now Zupeltech. For anyone who's followed in the past, they then became, where are we? Something like Zupeltech, if I remember rightly. No, HTML editor. Or maybe they're just called Zupel. I thought they were called Zupeltech. Okay. They have still got their HTML viewer and editor, the old ActiveX ones, and I think they are specified here. Where are they? The legacy viewer, but they've also got new ones, and they've got the new. So that's the legacy editor, but they have got the new one, the HTML5 CSS3 viewer, and hot off the press, the editor. And I've got those. He sent me the viewer late last week, but I didn't get time to look into it, and he sent me the editor early hours of this morning. So these look pretty good, to be fair. Pretty good indeed. So you can expect. Hang on. Sorry, let me close. It's a Clarion one, but that's a bit bad. I've got WinDev open. Never mind. Sorry about that. Yes, basically you can expect to see these. They look pretty good so far. So the templates will be supporting these as well. So that will give you another more modern looking ActiveX, but it's not based on the IE engine. So it's based on, I don't know if it's Chromium. I need to take a look. But yeah, basically you're right up to date with this. So that might help.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can expect to
it
see.
It does look better.
Not this week, but you can expect to see these in the near future. Probably realistically, I'd like to say in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Definitely before CIDC South Africa. Definitely before then, they will be released. So, but bear in mind, I only got the editor probably around 12 hours ago. so yeah. But there is a view as well, because I think you use just the viewing capability. And again, the new engine isn't based upon IE. So again, I might have to ask him what it's actually built upon. So, but it might offer a better rendering and a better alternative what we've already got.
Yeah, the main thing was having it so that if it has links on there, we can catch the link and have it do something different.
Right.
That's where we had that a while ago, right? We were
trying
to figure out how to do it. We could only do it in. I think this one was the only one that would do it. I think the other one, maybe the one in Kojak, could not do it, or the other way around. I can't remember which one I ended up using.
I can't remember which way around it was myself, to be honest, because you could do it. I think it was something like a before navigate before Navigate
Yeah,
2
exactly. Right. Right.
method and so on.
Yep.
But was that still outstanding? Because I thought we actually addressed that. Maybe I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, I have it working in one of my apps, so it's okay. I just don't remember which one we ended up doing.
No, I can't remember, to be honest. So, but I will. It's unfair to. I've played about with these, but not crack them open at a raw ActiveX level and have a look at what I can trap, what I can't trap, so on and so forth. So yeah, the proof will come when in that. But he's Richard, who actually creates these, was telling us he has left everything open, even if we go through at what you call a dispatch level. Then we can get to all characteristics underneath. So if he hasn't wrapped it immediately there for us to get into, hook into, then he has given us another mechanism to get into as well, which I don't mind getting my hands dirty in doing that. So yeah, so it could be a win-win.
Excellent.
So that's that. Mentioning, we'll go on to questions in a second. We've got a couple, which is good. Mentioning CIDC 2020, obviously. Been speaking with Bruce about training and content, and of course, it's got to be content that is relevant to our products for the Capes Off training and the Noyantis training, of course. And then you've got the general conference content, and it's exciting because what I'm going to focus on from the training point of view, it's got to be fine-tuned yet, but the idea is there's going to be one singular session based on the calendar, but not just here's a calendar, get some data into it and move stuff around. It's going to be getting the calendar into your application and synchronizing with external data. So creating a whole calendar scenario like that, and that'll be one dedicated session just on the calendar for that. The other one, which is in all likelihood will go ahead, will be a full comprehensive training on the report control and making sure people are using it and using it correctly. Neither of those two are going to be big sessions, probably a quarter of a day, a couple of hours, things like that. So, but they'll be comprehensive enough when you walk away, you will have more than enough knowledge to use them. And then there's going to be a half-day session dedicated to online accounts. So, and integrating your application into it, the do's and don'ts, and basically we'll have a little invoice test app, which we'll populate with data from an external accounting system. We'll allow the data to be changed and modified and inserted and deleted and so on, and we'll have that synchronizing. So we'll go through the design aspects all the way through to implementation of that. So we've actually got some content planned for that. And that's for the dedicated Noyantis training, which will be split into different sessions over different days, which is a really nice format in my mind. And for what I'm thinking for the presentation and some training during the actual conference, we're just going to look at some APIs, but not relating it to Chillcat or Capesoft or NetTalk, which I have used and using some stuff, or the Clarion built-in comms library. Basically, we're going to come up with some different scenarios and use the different products. So I'll do some using NetTalk, I'll do some using Clarion, and I'll do some using Chillcat. So the back end is kind of irrelevant. What we want to approach and look at is various different popular APIs, like looking up addresses, downloading currency exchange rates, things like that. So we'll walk away with some examples of interfacing with APIs. So that should be quite exciting. Hopefully you'll find it useful. If I know Alejandro's there, hopefully you'll find it as well. If anyone hasn't shown the interest or signed up to the event, even just online, now I really do recommend you do so because it's going to be good. Numbers are looking great, and now the content's really coming together as well. So yeah, it should be good. Okay, so Frank's first, and he's got a question on the HTML editor. So, Frank. Hi, Frank, are you there?
Yes, Andy. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. Yourself?
Good, good. Hi, John. Hi, everybody else. I've been struggling with the the HTML editor. Just funny you kind of went into it here.
Okay.
When this new version comes out, is that going to be just part of an update, or do we have to purchase something from Drupal? Or
I should imagine we've got a discount with them, quite a hefty discount. So it'll be cheaper to get from us than it will be from Drupal, but they are basically two different products. So they have got their editor here, HTML editor. I don't know what their prices are on here. They got a price? Yeah, $104. Obviously, we can get it cheaper than that. That's the old legacy one. Yeah, I don't know if he's put a price on here. Yeah, 149. So it's next to like $45 over the old one. Now, whether he offers an upgrade path, because of course he knows of your licenses on the old one and so on and so forth. I shall ask him. In fact, after this webinar, I will ask that very question: is there an upgrade path from the legacy ActiveX to the new version ActiveX?
I don't remember paying for. I thought I just paid for the HTML editor.
You did. If you go, I know what you mean. So on here, so if you'd have gone to our store, which you would have done at one point, gone to it's done under there. Oh, Drupal there. And gone to our wrapper template, then there was basically the ActiveX is included in that.
Right.
So what we did is you purchased our template, but then when you got your license, your login details, you notice you had an extra line saying your ActiveX license code, and your product was then basically purchased directly from them via us, but using a heavily discounted rate and so on, which we pass straight on to you. We never make anything off the things. Believe us, we don't get no incentive from that. We don't get from CodeJock. We pass it straight on to the community. Likewise, we pass this straight on.
You don't have to explain yourself. You're
well, I like people to make sure
more
that,
than
we make sure it's fair for everybody. So we charge for our products. We don't try and skim off the top of the others. We just don't work that way.
Understood.
So this, I suppose, we'll have to revamp this. Once the new wrapper is available, we'll revamp this to offer the old one if people still want the old one or the new one. So this page will just change with extra purchase options and so on. But as for people who have got your license, so he knows, because it's an automated link we have between us and what was NBit but now Drupal. It's an automated link. So as I process your sale, I can purchase immediately off him and get the license details immediately back. So he gets his money, we get a license, you get that passed straight onto you. Everyone's happy. So he knows of your license details and your codes and so on. So it will be a case of, do you offer no upgrade path? And if so, how much? What's the problem on the current one, though? Might be able to help you out on that.
Yeah, because I've been working on this, and I got a client that's really waiting for it. But part of my couple of the products that I have, people have been asking for the ability to do newsletters and stuff, and that's really what got me into it in the beginning. And I struggled because even though I'm 30 years with Clary, I struggled mightily with getting it to where it's at. But if I could, can you just connect me real quick? And
of course, yeah.
I have some basic questions here.
So you should get a prompt to say, make you a presenter.
Let me know when you can see it.
I can, yeah.
Okay. So I kind of took your examples, and basically what I did before was I would have oops, darn it, of course. Okay, oh great. So this is my old 6.3 Clarion tagging. I would tag. I have different tabs. If I want to just send out emails, I would do this. And I'm just going to pick one here, and then it would come into a very simple, and it would just send out text emails. And I wanted to expand on that, and the letters were text, and it was kind of old looking. So I started working with your editor. I got the view working. God, I was so happy about this on Saturday. I swear to God, I hooped and hollered, and my wife came running in, and
Very good.
she just went, "You're really weird." So,
Oh, you're in good company.
yeah. So basically, I took this letter, one of my clients' letters. They sent me in a Windows format, and the formatting I found had some limitations in it and stuff, and so I took also the way you did, like I could view how it would look in text over here, and then the big thing here was the inner HTML, which I actually copied this into the NetTalk email system, and I would create a record here, and it would email. It was great. It would do but the pictures wouldn't come out because this right here is putting this stuff in here. Okay.
Okay.
So actually, I saw John's email program. I think it was the last open webinar or something, and he might have had some code or something that stripped that out, or anyway, if I strip that out, okay, in my I just have a simple this works, so I just kind of took it and let's see, test, and I stripped out I made it like this, okay, and when I made it like this, it worked, okay, because I read the documentation. And so do I have to do that? Is there some way around that? Because
let me just take a look. I'm sure there's a property on the template actually, which allows you to specify the source, the image source.
Let's see which one here. This is my edit window here. Okay, so this is.
So go to right click on the editor itself, so we can get to the actions and the templates.
So I forgot how I loaded this up.
Okay, I'm just opening mine as well. You see, that's all. So
okay.
yeah, image source. So you can put a particular path in there, and that's what should go into the defined HTML.
Yeah, it's still when it does that, it still puts in. I actually I was going crazy over it because it was putting it into the image space store, and I was getting some errors when I sent it and stuff. So again, John was going through, and I actually went back and I took screenshots of every one of these, how we did this, and loading it up and stuff like that. And he had this as his directory, so I thought maybe that would work. But when I put the image in, no matter where it was stored, it was still putting that file / in the HTML, because what I'm really doing here is once I do that, I go through and I select my the people I want to send the email to or print the letter to. I haven't really worked on putting in the customer names and stuff, with the mail merge, but I'll be working on that today.
Well, I can walk you through that in a second with the example.
Okay, we can do that. And then I've actually got all the names and email addresses in a separate file. So I was going to, when I click this create email or have it part of the process or whatever, create the email logs for each one of these and then just send them using NetTalk email, which is no problem. It works. It works.
Okay.
But again, here is where I would capture the code. And what did I do here? I did. I just did. See here, I'm looping through this. PickCust is the table that I've stored from my tag table. The people that are going to receive either this letter or email, and then I just loop through and I create it and I put it into this file to hold the basic data on what's in here, and then I use these.
Yep.
Okay, so this is how I got my text. I was so proud of myself, and this goofed me up here because I kept putting in HTML editor from your example.
Change the class name. Yeah.
I figured it out. I went, oh my God, the class name is killing me. So I got that, and then this would be my get the document here. Now somewhere in here, I was going to try to put some code to search for, the file / and replace it. And so I was just hoping that there was a better way of doing that without me having to hand code. And I don't know if John, how he did it in his little email program, because somewhere along the webinar, I saw some kind of code that I thought strips it out. I'm not sure. Maybe John could answer that, but
well, I'm just trying. Okay, I mean, let's take a quick look up. Let's go back to myself.
Okay, because if I leave that in there, if I leave just the pure, this in here, it sends the email fine, but it doesn't send the picture. It's like a little dot. It didn't find it.
Yeah,
so,
okay, so going to on mine here.
So okay. Like so. Let me come back to you. Okay, I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, so along the lines of here where we've got an image. Now, if I take a look at the view of that, there's our pick.
Yeah, you're using online images there, and
well, let's replace that. Let's say so. Let's change this. This is just let's get rid of that, and insert a local image, which is what you have to do, is it not?
Right. That's exactly what I did.
Yep. So let's say image store, like that, or maybe that. Okay. So something along the lines of that. I'll save that newsletter.
Yeah, I got that a few times too. Maybe it wasn't saved as a, because you have a in here you have you have it hard coded to go to a specific
the website. Right. Okay. That's not. That was just. I mean, it needs updating the example, to be fair.
Right.
So, right.
Okay. And that kind of screwed me up for a while, but I finally figured out how to just pick out. That was my main thing, to allow them to pick from a series of letters, and then my little table there would just allow them to pick from their history. And
okay, just gonna go into it, have a look at this, and it's just gonna be, do you know what, edit that. Let's take the images out. Okay, so them images were screwing it up a second ago. So that's something for you to take a look at. Okay, so now let me put just a local image in. Something like that. If I save that, yeah, definitely screwing that up.
Yeah, I kind of had the same issue.
Okay.
That's why I developed my own little test thing and kind of went from
Not that one. So I just want
square
to.
one. I think it's edit newsletter.
Yeah. Oh, not that one. What's our settings? Got to be 2 or 3 years since I looked at this, I've got to admit. Yeah, / image store.
Yeah.
So what is it doing to the page when, because I've just restored it on the other screen here. Oh. Right, save that. And I'm just going to open the raw HTML on another page, on another screen. So, CSS, there it is, that's the newsletter, if you will, which is exactly what we just had. So, agreed,
Right.
That's good. I edit that and just put an image in. Okay, that's saving. I'm going to open it externally. No. And that's then. And after I come out, just confused of why it's not loading. Looks like I'm going to have to take a much detailed look on this. Proofread. No, I just can't read it. There's something on the loading of the old one it doesn't like. Won't be a second. I'll have a new notepad. That's the new one. That's the old one. I'm not seeing why that won't load.
Is it saving properly?
Yeah. The file here on the right is what's saved. But then when it tries to load that back in, it's struggling to. If I go into the editor, blank editor, and ask it to just open, can we open a file somewhere?
Yeah, I didn't find.
No.
I would always have to paste the HTML into that, and then.
No, there's one that's got the DOM bars on. I'm sure there was. Oh, wrong one. I'll forget that. We've not got any CSS loaded. I don't understand why the other one isn't opening then. That same file just definitely doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But only because of the image. Let me try and change the image store. Right, well, we know that. Let's get rid of that. Very crudely, I want to. I'm going to just put that to. So I specified basically a hard fix path for that. Oh, force of habit. Right. No problem. Got to insert an image. Not from there. Just in there. And it can be any. Now, when we do the insert, it's really not liking it. That's something different, definitely. So if I save that, take a look at that. That save just isn't doing it. And what, from a source point of view, does that have? No, that save's just not. I'm not getting where this is.
See, it always puts that file colon / in before,
Yeah.
no matter what.
What's the path? I mean, what's the path that you're wanting to take it from?
Well, I mean, whatever the client, wherever they're choosing from, but
Yeah, a relative image.
the problem is right here, the file colon, that it doesn't find the location of the image. And if you take it out, it actually puts it back in. And then it does that.
Yeah, which is no image. I wonder if I save that now, will it? It's not because there's no license. Tell you what, let's try it a different way.
Well, at least you can feel my pain a little bit.
Yeah. Something's changed, but you don't know it's a back-end engine, if you want the truth, because
and believe me, when I got as far as I did this weekend, I was just like, okay, that's it. I'm watching the Super Bowl. I'm done.
oh yeah.
I'm waiting till Monday.
Right, so okay. So I'm just going to manually change this. Won't be 1 second. Oh, crikey. That's just opened loads of files. I must have had other stuff open. Sorry. Right. Just trying to figure out the file. Won't be a second. I'm just trying to do. Okay, leave that with me. I ain't a clue what's going on with that local, the local insert image.
Okay.
And that's not set to go to any particular year because that's like an FTP store. Just trying one other thing here. Won't be 1 second. Sorry about this.
No, it's okay. I appreciate the time and effort.
No. Oh. Hmm. No. Okay. Leave that with me. Oh,
Okay.
we'll move on to the merging. At least you can get that bit done. Okay. But I'll do
Yeah.
it so that the paths, I know exactly what you're trying to achieve. The
Yeah.
paths to those want to be oh, crikey, either an online one, but you don't want to use that, or the image has to be actually embedded in the content that's being emailed. And you can
Right.
send that via C data.
What is C data? I'm
Basically,
sorry.
imagine if you will, okay, let's say you've got a folder, right? Now, I'll go to temp, where is it? Webinars, HTML, we're playing about. Okay, now you're sending an email, go to newsletter,
Right.
and your raw content of your email is something along the lines of this.
Right.
Okay, like so. It's all wording. So if we was to actually do a get text or look at that in TextPad, it's got everything it needs. Agreed? So
Right.
that's the actual content. Now, if we was to put an image to an online store, to an online image store, we could insert an image and point it to an external resource. Something along the lines of hang on 1 second, let me find an image we've got. Won't be 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get a local image, so which we can get to externally. So view page source and an image on there. Find image. Okay, so we should hypothetically be able to go to something like https nyantis.com/image/nyantis.png.
Yeah.
And you get the Noyantis. Okay, so that's an external image. So
Right.
technically, we should be able to say, okay, I want that to be in there. Okay, so if I was to look now at that, oh, well, we're there again. Now we've got our image.
Right.
It's dragging it from an external source. So on your email, at this moment in time, where's the HTML? It's built up of everything it can get to, or as in text from the content point of view, with an external source.
Yeah. The problem with that is.
I'm not saying you've got to do it that way. It's just, that
Yeah.
at the moment it can see everything it needs. Now, of
Right.
course, you can't insert a local image because at present, because they're going to open it and the path's going to be d::, whatever. It's going to be a file, but that local file is on your machine and not on their machine. So of course
Right.
they can't see it. So when you need a resource like that to be embedded into the email, then you'll do it through a term called C data. So just 1 second. So along the lines of.
Yeah. See, here's the thing on that. That would require my clients to be able to put it on a web area to
Yeah, and
touch,
it's too much. Yeah.
and it's too much. They're just going to look at me like I'm an idiot.
No, you don't have to do that, and you don't have to. So basically, email. I'm just trying to find a good article which will help me explain it a little more.
Okay. And I understand 100% what you're saying here.
What's this saying? I don't really know. Let's have a quick look. How to embed. Yeah, so pros and cons. One will add to the weight of it, of course. You link out an image, which of course we don't want to. Yeah, so now I want. No, massive overkill. Possible. No, it's not that. I was thinking because in the actual, I'll find a way of it, and what it'll do is it will convert it so that it goes as part of the email. So in the bit that goes along to the destination, not only contains raw text like so on, but it actually contains the data that you need for your images. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave that with me.
Okay. Just one more quick one.
Well, I was going to take you through this merging as well. So if we take the images out of the equation and leave that for me,
right,
then I'll take you through the merging as well.
Okay. Now, when my clients go in and they want to create a new one, okay. Right now, the way I've got it is I've got to look up and you choose the HTML file you want to bring in to edit and then to merge and stuff like that. But if there is none, should I just create like a blank new.html and then they can customize it the way they want, and then somehow in the save,
Well, I mean, it's a tough one. It's really down to your own design, to be fair. So you're gonna. This is just one. I'm just storing it as an external HTML file, which we've just seen. But you don't have to. A better solution might be to have some kind of database of templates, if you will. You're always going to. It depends how you want to store the actual text of the HTML of your template, if you will, your merge template, because you don't know the size, especially if you're going to start embedding images and so on and so forth. That size could soon expand. So if you're going to store them externally, in this HTML and so on, like I just did there in this example, then on a new one, you don't actually have to create anything. You're just going to end up with the equivalent of a blank editor. And then when they press save, then do your normal save routine.
Okay.
But save it
yeah, I'll play around with that today because I really haven't gotten to the new ones. I've been just creating them like in Word, saving them as HTML, copying them over to the newsletter folder, and then when I create a new record, I just point it at that and say I want to use that one.
We'll take the load out of this. Okay, so all this is doing on the way in. Before we insert, no, don't want any of that. Don't want that. Probably on the template itself.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, content, load from file. So I'm going to say none to start with. No built-in. No default content.
Okay.
Now there should be something on the save actually. There must be on the exit. Before save, yeah. So all this is going to do is save it, and I'm going to say newsletter and a random number between 1 and 100. There you go. So we can just keep getting that. So that's going to save. I need to basically call in the editor save document.
Okay.
Yep. So we're not going to get anything and there's our folder, by the way, here. No content.
Just type in anything.
Press A.
There you go.
Yep. Save. Go out. I look in this folder here, and we can see there's 113. I'm looking for some. If we have a look at that, and it just says test A. I've got it on the other screen, but I will open it in TextPad here so you can see. And there's
Okay.
there's our HTML. So we don't have to create a blank one. We can just tell it to save it.
Save. Okay.
So yes, I wouldn't bother about that. I probably would save them externally. Another option, but you know, probably digressing a little, but another option would be if you've got any kind of Capesoft tool or R tool for manipulating a string to a file. So you could do that. So you could get the HTML content out of it and save it to a file. The reason I'm saying that is one of the things is back to that schedule it actually. That's going to have you templates. Them templates are just going in. Just let me explain how I'm going to approach it. It might just give you an idea for yours.
Okay.
Okay. So correspondence templates. So yeah, letter no. So we could have an email. Okay, type email. So these should change accordingly, and our editor is going to appear here to allow them to type in their email. Okay, that's going to be a template, same as a letter and some text
Right.
phone call, sorry, an SMS or a text message, text content. Now, because I don't know the size and the content, I'm going to save them externally, just like we said a minute ago with the save document. And if you want them to just be plain text, like we just have, so we can open them in TextPad and look at the raw content, then that's fine. And from templates, they're probably all right like that. When it comes to any merged content, then I'm going to want them still saved to file, but I'm going to want them encrypted because I don't want. Basically, I want the system to manage them then. I don't want anyone being able to open up, just go navigate to that folder and have a look
Right.
at the output. And then I can see user A has emailed such and such a body about user B. And then user B comes along and has a look at the actual raw email. Even though they haven't got access rights within the program, they can go and see it below the surface. And we don't want to do that. You want to trap that kind of scenario. So what I'll be doing there is still using some kind of manipulation to take them from whatever. So if it's the HTML editor, you could do the get body, I think it is, something like that. One of the methods which will return it to you, and then I'm going to encrypt it and save to disk. Now, if you've got Capesoft stuff, you could probably use string theory and kryptonite. If you've got the Chillcat stuff, then you can use the string builder and the crypt2. Both of which, my point being, I'm not trying to plug any particular tool. My point being,
Yeah.
the idea behind it. You've got something in memory. You've got something here in a control, be it here in an email client, be it here in a text client, and so on. But you've got a string of data. We're then going to just encrypt that while it's in memory and save it out to a disk file. That stops anybody else externally going looking at that content.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at it. I have string theory. I don't have Chillcat yet, so.
No, well, I mean, if you've got string theory, that might even include, maybe you just want to encode it, but something to stop Joe Public coming along, opening up, just like we did with this template here, coming along and taking a look at it and seeing the actual raw source. You don't want that, especially if it's private content that's been sent out to clients.
Right, like an invoice or.
Yeah, well, it could be subject matter regarding other people and so on. A lot of the systems we work on are medical systems, and the last thing you want to do is being able, for people who haven't got access rights to be able to go and read people's medical notes and so on, that kind of thing.
Right.
So we'll be approaching it like that in that particular application. So there's a couple of ways you can achieve it. Many tools. I mean, you could just save it to use a save disk, which is what we've just done here.
Right.
And maybe one of the zip libraries, which gives you a password option on it, so you can just zip it as it's saved, save it and zip it and encrypt with the zip library.
Right.
You know, so you've got
Okay.
a couple of options open to you. It's just a matter of which one you go with. I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to use our tool. That's kind of obvious, but I'm going to go with that same methodology for our Word documents, for our email templates and our email correspondence, and even down to a text message template, which is only going to be about 160 characters. But it's not the point. If I come up with one standard approach, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just a string of data which I'll encrypt, save, read, decrypt.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that, and I'll keep plugging away at this, and then we'll see. Hopefully by the end of the month or whatever, we'll look at this new Drupal
Yes, yeah.
ActiveX, and
Yeah.
maybe that is.
And
This is a little dated here. I mean, and it's a
is.
little
By
tough to
their
work with.
admission, it is.
Yeah, it's a little tough to work with as far as font sizes and things like that, moving stuff around. So hopefully their new one, and I'll go online with them too. I'll look at what they have as a demo.
Yeah, fine. And then last but not least, we mentioned about the find and replace for the tokens, and you're going to want to have some kind of tokens in like
Right.
and some kind of placeholder. Now, what the token is, how you define your token, again, entirely up to yourself. So I think in the example here, I have one called customer name. So I'm going to say, okay, there, and I'm just using a square bracket. Dear customer dash name, kind of irrelevant for dear customer name. Today is today's date. Today is thanks and whatever. You might put a salutation on that. Okay, so I'm just going to save that, and I have just got another one over here. HTML, not newsletter. I'm just going to rename that one to our normal newsletter. The only reason I'm doing that is because of our proof, so I can just show you. Okay, so you can see here.
Right.
Yep. Now all it's doing there is calling the load, which of course looks like. Oh, we took the load off. Sorry. Which of course looks like something like this, with just nothing more than some kind of token, and then we use the find and replace. So along the lines of, it's not that one. It's a proofread. So if we look at the embed point under the new selection, you can see I set the content, and I've already loaded the content. I did jump a step there. You would have your user select the particular file, decrypt it if you're encrypting it, so on and so forth. But basically get it back so you can get the content in. So that's just loading that. So we do that, and then for speed, what I also do then is I take a copy, so I don't have to keep reloading it all the time. But especially if it's a large one with a lot of documents and so on, you're talking about images. So
that's a good idea.
So I take a copy. That's a massive C string, but an any would probably be better there. But I take a copy, and then for every record that I want to merge, so this is your email, if you will, you're going to do set document HTML to your copy. So it's put back. So it's put back to the original content, and then we're just doing a find replace with whatever token it is and various different values, and that really, that's it. And then you would call off your print or your email or whatever. But by that time, it's done. So that in action looks like. So it was that one proof. So it's loaded it and it's kept a copy, and then it's merged. And as we go up and down these, it's replacing the content with the copy and doing the next find replace. So really simple.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I saw you did the pull down and you filled up the pull down with the related table.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, what I would normally do there, because in a large system, your tokens are actually split between like a header and line setup, if you will, where you would have client tokens with all their related information, like name, address, to,
Right.
telephone number, usual salutation. But then you would also have staff tokens, and so you would have basically 2 drop downs. One, so basically you can group these. A report controller would be a nice way to group them, actually. Put them in a tree, so you can see all the tokens at once. That'd be a nice way to do them. In fact, yeah, I think I'll do that in Schedule It. But yes, basically present the nice usable thing, so they don't necessarily see that. They just want a nice field, and then they select it, and hey presto. And really, I mean, I'm just showing off here how you can replace in different places.
Understood.
But on the selection of that would naturally go and put the that in for you.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's I think I pretty much mentally got that part down. I haven't worked on it yet, but I've looked how you did it and that kind of stuff. So
okay,
I just have to integrate this pull down into my editor on the other side and give them more choices, and then
that's
that way
pretty much just a proof of concept rather than a full working one.
Right, exactly.
By next week we'll have the stuff in Schedule It, so I'll actually show you the implementation in Schedule It.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, listen, I've taken enough of your time. I feel bad. It's already after.
It's okay. I mean, there was only one other question regarding the report control, but Alan's left, so we won't cover it. So that's really it.
Okay.
But that's okay. We're over an hour. So
yeah, no. You've given me a good thing here, and I'm probably gonna do something with just stripping out that file when I save it to creating the actual email, putting it into the HTML field.
Well, don't forget what you could do is you could have a local field, this any equals something like HTML editor dot get document HTML. So that would get you the whole document.
Right.
Then you could do your HTML find replace and find file colon so on and so forth. Replace it with what you need to replace it with. Do that, and then basically do something along the lines of LV local variable, that is, any. So now you just switch to actual raw source code. You've done a find replace on it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good too. I didn't know I could use that for that, so I just took screenshots of what you just did. So.
Let me just grab you something like that. Frank. I'm just looking for you on Skype because I'm sure we spoke on Skype in the past.
You know what? I don't know if we haven't.
It's been a while ago, yeah.
I actually want to connect with you on Skype. There you go. You can.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sample code.
Yep.
Okay, we get the idea. Hopefully that will mean something to you.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Plus, I always have the recording.
So there you go. Okay, well, on that note, we shall wrap it up.
Yep.
Thank
you so much, Andy.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Yes, hi, John.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Not in the question.
On the report, on the report control.
Yes.
If you tell it not to select anything, it still seems to have a light little dotted line around the cell when you click on it. And I was wondering if there's a way to not have that.
I believe there is. Probably under the paint manager. Let's just jump into it. Hide selection determines whether the currently selected row size will remain shaded and the report control loses focus. Oh no, that's not that one. Highlight grid style. Yeah, maybe that one.
Maybe.
Oh, that's horizontal. Sorry, no. Reading what I wanted.
Nope.
Can I open one of the examples? That one. Okay. So what are you using to hide the selection then?
Just in the template where it asks if you want to allow selections, and I think I turn everything off. Which says allow row to be selected.
Okay.
It's appearance. It's under appearance. No, maybe it's under options now. Try options and then rows, selection. Yeah, there. So everything's off. That's it. My little update program's getting closer and closer, Andy.
Yes. Yes. Promise you'll get it there. I'm also going to. I've been playing about creating Apple apps. So for a particular project, not that I've got the spare time to just do that, by the way. So the API that I'm going to publish to you, I'm actually going to have for my own little Apple app as well.
Oh, cool.
Simple, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I see what you mean. Yeah, I can just see.
It's a little light gray dashed strange thing.
To show, yeah.
I don't want that there at all, if possible. I mean, I could live with it, but
Just want to see the ramification of that. 1 second. Yes, he's still. Back color. Let's go full color. So many options. It gets quite scary trying to remember them all. First go, no, that's the wrong one. No, okay.
maybe there isn't a way to do it.
I'll selection check. No, not that one. I'm guessing that's what we're already using. Oh, you got.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. When show focus is true, you'll still maybe it's show focus. We'll still see a focus rectangle drawn around the items. So, yeah, show focus off.
Let's take a look at that. There might be a method to this, but just to see if this is what we're actually after. I'm sure it's that what we're already using, but we'll just do that as well. There you go.
That's it. Yep. Show row
I'm
focus.
guessing it's going to be show row focus.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Perfect. That's the one. Look, it wasn't even that big a challenge, was it?
No. There's another. I don't think you particularly use it, but one option which has just gone into the report control. You know, on the inline search, you can add a screen control to say whether that's on or off. So it's nice and easy to use. Well, what you also got now, so to add that is along the lines of, like, where is it? Report control, inline filter, and that is just a checkbox, which we've always had, and that's fine. But now what you also got, because I wanted it to give the user, is the group box. So now you can add that to the screen, associate it, and let the user have the power to turn it on and off at runtime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice.
So that same one there. And to see that in action in something like in this, it doesn't really matter, it's on all of them. But basically, we have our options on here. So we go, okay. So they can turn on their filter, they can turn on the search, they can turn on their grouping.
Very nice.
So just let the user, basically, because if you think Outlook has it, they call it right click and group by box. So we just called it group by.
Right.
But then they could say, okay, and give me all these by any of the other.
So you have a save layout on the report control too, right? Does it?
Yeah.
Will it save those options too, or is that a separate
It will
thing?
do. Yes, it will do, because we need it to for this schedule it. So yes, it stores the grouping and the sorting. So I don't know whether it stores the actual settings for those, but it will do. You know, basically by Wednesday, by the user getting this, it will do. So yes, is the answer.
But what about the show filter and the show group?
Oh yeah. It will be all three of those.
Those are saved too. Cool.
Yep. That and that. So then really it's down to you ship it in a nice default state, but then it's over to the user.
Yeah, that's nice.
So yes. Okay, right. Let's wrap that up. So until next week. But John, do Mive with me this week. I don't know if that's a UK saying or translate, but basically be a nuisance. Remind me this week. Say, Andy, I want the JSON file.
Okay, will do.
I need to. So the only way it's going to happen is if you remind me. So just remind me. You have my permission.
Okay, will do.
Okie dokie. All right. Okay. Until next week, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.